Okay. So, welcome to our January meeting, everybody. So, today's speaker is Morgan Acosta, and she's the assistant sports dietitian here at LSU. She manages the nutritional needs of LSU football. Are these your slides? Okay. So, I'll just hand it over to her.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my friends. I'm Morgan. I am kind of the assistant dietitian right now, so you've kind of caught me at a very stressful week. I'm not gonna lie. Our director just left for a new job, and to let you in on my fun life, I'm gonna interview for that position this week. So I've got a lot going on right now, but I'm so excited to be right here. I sat in this very meeting in undergrad. I went here for LSU. I had Dr. McKinley for most of my classes. I always knew I wanted to do sports. I played college softball and then went through an injury. So decided to come back home. This is my hometown and finished out at LSU right here. So sports has always been a passion. And then when I got an injury nutrition is what I wanted to really focus in. So before I start, I kind of want to know where everyone is thinking they want to go and specialize in, because whether it's food management, clinical, whatever, I can kind of talk more about those things that interest you guys in this slide. So if you don't know yet, it's okay. But does anybody have an idea what they want to do? No? No one? Oh my gosh, then we have like sports or pediatrics. Like, oh, I know you want to do sports. Yeah. Really? Awesome. Oh my gosh. I was the only one at LSU, and when I went to my DI, I was the only sports concentration ever. So that's super cool that there's at least two of you. That's fine. If you don't know what you want to do. I will say, even though I always knew I wanted to do sports, a lot of people in my DI program had no idea when they got there. And they had to figure it out in a year and a half. But it's nothing to worry about. You're going to be prepared for it, especially coming from LSU. I felt I was more prepared than other girls that came from other schools. So I just wanted to tell you that. But you're going to be in all your rotations. You're going to see everything. You're going to be in rotations that you don't want to be in, and you can't wait till they're over. But it's going to be super fun. And then I will just get into mine and talk to you about what I do on the day to day. First thing I will say, this job is not for the weak. I got up at 4:30 this morning, and I work 12-hour days pretty much every day. I work Sunday through Saturday a lot. And the reason I stay in it is because I love it. I enjoy it. It's fun. If you go clinical, you're probably not working 12-hour days Sunday through Saturday. But if sports is something you love, it's something you want to do day in, day out. The guys make it worth it for me. I love working with the staff I have. So it's really nice. And we do get off time. I'm not working weekends right now, which is great. We're in the off season. But it does come with extra little things. So for example, this Saturday, I have to be at work for an hour because we have recruiting because we're in off season. So it's just little things like that. So this is a list I came up with of most of the things I do every day. So the first thing I tried to rank this in order of importance, and it was kind of impossible. So it's alphabetized. But first thing, body composition. So we do DEXA testing. A DEXA machine, if you don't know, it looks like a bed, and it's an X-ray machine. So an arm runs up one side of the body, down the middle, up the other, and I can see their body fat percentage, their lean mass, everything. I have another slide on that that'll go more in depth of that. Budget. This is my least favorite part of my job. So budget is a huge thing. We have a number that we have to follow, and it is a weekly battle because one of the things I have to focus on, I can only cater a snack worth $15 for a football player. And I have players that weigh 350 pounds. So sometimes to get a meal for $15, I am negotiating with the restaurant, I'm negotiating with my business office to try to make sure I feed these guys, but still keep administration happy with numbers and everything. Catering. So, like I said, I cater according to the budget, but it's everything. So, after they have a practice, if there's a meeting on a Sunday night, even holidays. So, if you're in football, if sometimes you're playing on Thanksgiving, sometimes you're practicing on Thanksgiving. This year we practice on Thanksgiving. I spent a year at Ole Miss before this, and we play the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving. So that is another thing to consider. Your holidays may be gone if you're in sports or football, especially. But catering for big things like that, education is a huge part of my job. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just wondering why it's only $15. I get it would be expensive, but is there anything like
That is like such a good question, and I can bring you to my business office and you can come with me. But right now, so we have a snack for $15. Breakfast is $15. Lunch is $20. Dinner is $25. But it's hard. A lot of the times I can't cater a lunch if our dining hall is open for lunch. It has to be considered a snack, if that makes sense. Because if I say I'm catering lunch today, they're going to say, well, our dining hall is open for lunch. I'm going to say, right, but they practice and I'm trying to feed them more. And I'm trying to feed them food they like. Our dining hall is fabulous. We have a team of chefs that is awesome. And I wish our football players would appreciate what we have, but boys are boys. And if you make them do one thing for 5 days in a row, they're like, this is dumb. I'm over this. And so we try to cater food, make it exciting, want them to eat. But yeah, that is a fight. And I will tell you right now, they're trying to even lower it. So we're in conversations with NIL deals potentially. And letting maybe Coach Kelly show his face at Kava, and Kava can give me a deal. So we're working on things like that. So it is an ongoing battle. Sorry, off topic. So education. This is huge for the guys. So one thing I will say, when you go into football, you're going to study here, you're going to go to your DI, you're going to get your master's, your nutrition knowledge is going to be up here. When you talk to a football player, you got to bring it down here. Not hating on them at all, but you just do. They're there to play football, especially at a big school like this. Now, we have some brilliantly smart guys in the classroom. I'm not knocking them at all. But when it comes to nutrition, it goes over their heads a lot. So I have a slide on education later. Pictures are your best friend. So, and sometimes some of you may work with kids. Not comparing that, I'm so sorry. But it's kind of the same thing. When you work with kids, you don't want to put a bunch of words on a paper. You want them to see pictures. It's easy. I feel so bad for saying that, I'm sorry. Hydration, the next thing. Hydration is something that I feel these guys look over all the time. But I do everything from every Powerade and water bottle you see in the football operations facility, I've ordered it and brought it there. I even do sweat rate calculations. So last fall camp, we did a sweat patch test. So we put one patch right here, one patch on their lower back. And it was on the guy, not every guy, we did about 20 guys who are heavy sweaters. And it would measure the sodium they lost, the potassium they lost. And some guys, it looked like he was sweating as much as he was sweating, but one had way more sodium. So as a dietitian, I know to look, okay, I can give him, we have what's called right stuff. It's got 1,000 milligrams of sodium in it. So I know I can give him that. The other guy may not need that. He might just need more water, Powerade, whatever. So you can get as detailed with it as you like. It's very specific part of the job. Injury nutrition. That is my passion, like I said, because I got injured in college, and I always wonder if I could have done something nutritionally to keep myself going in the game, because my problem was I broke my rib and I just couldn't get back stronger. And so I wondered if there was something I could do nutritionally. I was at a small D2 college, so we didn't have the best training staff. I didn't have a dietitian. So my goal, becoming a dietitian, I wanted to be the person I never got to have. And I think I put that in my personal statement. It was pretty good. Yeah.
I remember that. Now you say it.
Really? Meal plans. Meal plans sound really difficult. It sounds like something you would do clinical based or working with personal clients. So it depends on the player. Some players, I print out a paper and it's got a picture of a plate. I have one I'll show you in a minute, but it's pictures. Some guys, we do a note meal app. It's kind of like a very advanced MyFitnessPal. It's really awesome. And they can track their macros. They can take a picture of what they're eating. It'll track everything for them. So it's really just learning your players and learning if he's going to be willing to go in this app every day and look at this and really want to measure a cup of rice or whatever. Or if he just wants to look at a piece of paper and know, okay, I eat a banana at 9 o'clock and I eat this at 10 o'clock, Performance staff, huge part of my job. I collaborate with the strength coach and sports medicine staff at all times to talk about how a player, if an injured player is going through rehab, how's he doing? If he is overweight, if he's underweight, that's communicated to me. I can communicate to them, hey, he's been skipping meals. Can someone have a conversation with him? And we just all work together for a common goal. Supplements is another thing. I am also responsible for ordering all the supplements. I have been doing research this past week since I am now in charge and I'm making all these changes. For example, we were giving an omega that I didn't think made sense. We were giving a zinc in a different form that I didn't think made sense. So I'm just changing those things up. They are required to take their supplements every day. We have vitamin drawers and they have a little supplement cup. Right now they're getting omegas, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, and a probiotic. And I will go more into that with injury nutrition. Traveling. I write the menus for the hotel. Fun fact, we stay in a hotel every Friday night, whether it is a home game or we're playing an away game at Florida, Georgia, whatever it may be. So that's to really just have a team mindset, make sure everyone's on the same page for the game the next day. And it's beneficial for me because I can control what they're eating. If they were to go out on a Friday night, eat canes, and then try to play a game at noon the next day, I would have a heart attack. So it helps me that I have them all corralled and I can control what they're eating for dinner. We feed them breakfast and lunch depending on what time the game is, and then we do post-game meal for them when they leave. Usually a post-game meal is something fun, something that's not going to have broccoli on the side of it because they just finished a game, and I care more about them putting food in their body. Because if I'm being so honest with you, they're college boys. They're not going home after the game. They're going party and have fun with their friends. So I'm just making sure they don't starve themselves until the next day. Last thing, weights is super important. So right now they're weighed every day by our strength staff. During the season, they're weighed Mondays and Thursdays. And I get more into this in a second too. But just that's the easiest way to track how well they're doing with nutrition. If they're losing weight, gaining weight, how they're feeling, it's going to affect their performance. So I always try to keep up with that. Okay, body composition. So this is what the DEXA scan will look like when it's done. It's an x-ray on the full body. And I can see basically every gram of fat, every gram of lean mass, where it goes. It breaks it down right here. I know you can't read any of that, I'm sorry. But the main thing I want to know is the lean mass that they have, which is all the muscle in their body, and then their body fat percentage. Because when they want to go to the league and play in the combine, we compare those numbers to what the NFL players have. Because when you go to the combine, they're going to do a DEXA on the player as well. And they're going to ask the dietitian, hey, what did his numbers look like at LSU? And I can say, looked like this. And we can compare it to the DEXA they do in the combine. Now, they give a lot of numbers. So I can see how much lean mass is in a left arm versus a right arm, and a left leg versus a right leg. Do I care about it for every player? Not necessarily. Do I care about it when a player is injured and say he has a right ACL tear and he's been going through rehab, and I DEXA him after the injury and I want to see his abnormalities? So I can tell the strength coach, hey, his left leg is way bigger than the right. Can we make sure we strengthen the right one up to make sure he doesn't have an injury again? Another thing to look at, our offensive and defensive linemen, so our big guys who are on the line, a lot of the times they push off the same leg. Every single snap of the ball, push off the same leg. So put two and two together, the leg they push off of is going to be bigger. So that's another thing to consider with the strength coaches when they're working out these linemen, to consider, make sure you're working the right leg a little more or heavier, however you want to do it. But that's where the performance staff collaboration comes in. Any questions on this? Body comp. Education. So like I said, these are the nice little pictures that they like to see. This is just something I basically made for a weight gain guy. The one in the middle is for a specific athlete. I made him a meal plan because he was underweight. So I specifically tell him, this is what your plate should look like. Eat breakfast at 9 o'clock, because that was when he had class right after this. And then a water here, a drink here, Powerade here, and then we're ready for practice, have this pre-practice snack. So it gets very detailed. I don't make this for every player. To be honest with you, I don't want to waste my time. if they're going to waste my time and not use it. So you really get to learn your players, know, hey, if you're serious, I'll be serious with you. If you're going to buy in, I'll do it. So this guy's really good. That's why I made him a plan. And then I just make random stuff to have. We have an education wall that is new. You haven't seen yet. And we have just random things. So if somebody wants to learn why I have tart cherry juice in the refrigerator, it's because it's an anti-inflammatory. And on here, I instruct them, you drink one after a lift and then one before bed, helps you sleep. Cherries have natural melatonin in them, blah, blah, blah. So they get to know all of that. Hydration. So I am out at practice and lifts and everything. So out at practice, our athletic training staff, we have like 15 students and staff members, and they all carry water. I do not carry water. I carry a mixture of MyHigh, Powerade, and Body Armor for them to have extra electrolytes. And I carry this little bag around my back with some, sorry, I'm saying MyHigh like you all know what that means. It's an electrolyte. It's just like a sweet little sour liquid they just drank. And it's got sodium, potassium, calcium, all the things. And we have a different system of electrolytes. So a MyHigh is lower in sodium. We have a Right Stuff that's 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So this is when I walk around and know, okay, you're my heavy sweater. You get one of these. You're just sweating a lot. I know you don't lose a lot of salt. You just have this, have a sip of this. I also carry snacks in my bag because, again, these are boys and they say, oh, I didn't eat before this. And I say, oh, when are we going to learn? So then I pull a snack out. They eat a snack. But also the snacks are useful to have. I have fruit snacks in my bag at all times because if a player is losing a lot of sweat, a lot of sodium electrolytes, when I give him more fluid and sodium, you have to have a carb to hold on to the hydration. I know you all know this. That's why I carry a carb, and this is me educating them on the field. Hey, eat these fruit snacks. And they're like, I'm not hungry. I said, I didn't ask that. You have to eat a carb to hold on to the water. So that's how I educate them. That's why dietitians are out at practice and not just athletic training staff. And then this is a hydration plan I made for a player last year. Just to have, he was a salty sweater. So I would give him those 3 Right Stuff during practice. And then he would have those flash IVs that have a ton of sodium in them. Drip drops is another one of our electrolytes. And he just followed this throughout the day. Any questions right now? Fabulous. Okay. Injury nutrition. This Excel sheet I made, and it's my baby. I bet I make a change to it every single day. And this is just a quarter of it. It's a huge Excel sheet. But this keeps track of all of the protocols. So if a guy is on a prescription vitamin D, because I did a blood test and he's low in vitamin D, we put him on prescription. I have that. If someone is on a connective soft tissue protocol for an injury, we give them collagen, and I have that. If someone has a concussion, if someone fractured a bone, if someone had a surgery, if someone's low in iron, if they're having trouble sleeping, so I put them on magnesium, whatever it may be, everything is in this document, and I keep track of when I put them on the protocol, when I took them off, if they're currently on the protocol. My suggestion for you guys, if you go into sports, whatever, you make your own organizational sheet, because I've been in a lot of situations just over the past year of someone asking me, what did you do with him last month? Or hey, what did we do with him? And I have this to back me up. I've got this. So whatever kind of patient or client you have something that you create and you have so that you know what you're doing and you can see your progress. It's cool for me to know, how many guys I get to take off of vitamin D protocol because I gave them prescription, I got them to take a supplement, and now their vitamin D is good. And now I don't have to worry about them breaking a bone because of vitamin D deficiencies. So on the right are the orange drinks I make every day. Right now I have like 30 guys on them. It's so overwhelming. We got a bunch of new transfers out of the portal, and they all came here with an injury. I don't know what's going on. So basically this protocol is collagen, and I put vitamin C in it because your body can't absorb collagen without vitamin C. So I have at least 50 milligrams of vitamin C in all of these, and I make it mandatory for the guys to drink this every single day. Questions right now? Awesome. Travel. So this is an example of the menu I write. So this is our dinner buffet. It always starts with fruit, salad. This is a fun part. I'll tell you what I put on it. But there's red beans and rice. I do a shrimp Alfredo pasta. I do lasagna. I do mashed potatoes. Those are all my starches. My proteins, I do salmon. The guys get chicken parm. We do grilled chicken for a specific player who was high maintenance last year. It's still on there. And then we do a prime rib carving station. For bread, I give them breadsticks, cornbread. And on Friday night, yes, I do give them dessert because I am a fun dietitian. So they get chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies and brownies and blondies. And then the coaches are going to be something you deal with too. So I have pies separately for the coaches because they request those. But that's just an example of Friday night dinners. I have an incredibly detailed packet that I send to the hotel every weekend. I send it about 2 weeks in advance. So if I know we're going to play at Arkansas at least 2 weeks in advance, I've sent them the menu. I do a Zoom meeting with the chef and the head of food service management and banquet management. And then we meet again in a week. And then we talk constantly as I'm on the way. As I'm on the plane with the team or on the bus with the team, I'm texting, is everything ready? What's it look like? You're freaking me out. I'm nervous. But I send them a picture of exactly what I want the fridge to look like. So everything is super detailed. And I promise I'm not the only dietitian that does this. I've been other places. Every sports dietitian is this specific. So I send them a picture. I want water at the top. We give them body armor, flash IVs, Powerade. I do fruit juices, and then I ship in main squeeze juices so they can have fresh squeeze juices at breakfast. And then this is a picture of how I tell them to have the start of the buffet. So those are all of our electrolyte packets. So I want hydration to be the first thing on these guys' mind because it's easy to walk in, see a buffet of food, build your plate, sit down, and forget about hydration. So I put that at the very front every time. Weights. This is another Excel sheet I created. So I have it organized by their position group and their target weight range. And then this was during season. So I had their weights every Monday and Thursday. This is a fun way to figure out habits of your players. So my D lineman at the very top, he's all in yellow. Yellow means you're under, green, maintain. It turns red if you're over. So my guy at the top is consistently underweight. So I talked to him about what he's eating. My second guy, he's awesome. Star student, always maintaining. This guy right here, my O lineman. So what trend do you see right here? Look, Monday, Thursday, or it goes this way, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday. So on Thursday, he's good. And then we go away for the weekend. He's underweight when he comes back on Monday. Then as the week goes in, he's good. Then he goes away for the weekend. He's underweight. So what does that tell me about his nutritional habits over the weekend? Not great. Yeah, he's not eating. Maybe it's a conversation I have. Hey, are you trying to cook at home? Because over the weekend, our dining hall is not open. So I wonder, does he know how to grocery shop? Does he know what he should eat? Maybe it's a lack of education. Maybe he doesn't know what to get, or maybe he's just not eating at all unless I say, you need to eat this. Here's my other guy, my specialist right here. So on Thursday, he's good. And then we come back for the weekend, he's overweight. And then he'll lose weight through the week. And then we come back over the weekend and he's high on Monday. So then that tells me the opposite. And I have a totally different conversation with him asking, hey, what are you doing over the weekend? I'm wondering if he's going to get canes and eat, just putting garbage in his body compared to what I'm putting in his body during the week. So this helps me see just different trends, what guys are doing with their weights. Any questions with that? Okay. Overall, these are my 3 goals that I try to achieve. I want their performance to be good. I want their body comp to be good. And I want them to be healthy individuals because at the end of the day, they're human beings. They're not going to be football players forever. So with their performance, I want them to be able to be faster, stronger, more powerful. So I want to fuel them in that way. I want them to play a game and not be fatigued in the third quarter. With body composition, I want to increase their lean mass, increase their muscle, decrease their body fat, just have them healthy. Besides being able to play football, it's going to help them with their heart health. It's going to bring down any cholesterol, blood pressure they have. It's just going to help them be healthier individuals overall. And then health status, I want to prevent injuries if possible, but football is a tough game. Sometimes you can do all you can to prevent an injury and freak accidents happen. So injuries aren't always preventable, but we can try. But we definitely can help recover from injuries. And then correct any metabolic abnormalities, like I was saying, if they have triglycerides, high blood pressure, low in vitamin D, I just want them to be healthy individuals overall because they're not going to be in football forever. Sometimes it's hard to get them to think about that while they're in it, And then once they're graduating, they're freaking out and saying, my guys who aren't going to the league, they're wondering, what do I do now? I never learned to fry an egg. I never learned how to do anything. So that's why the education is important. And I try to remember that this is a person. I'm helping them nutritionally. It's a bonus if I can help them play football well too. Does that make sense? Okay, that's all I got. I hope you have a bunch of questions for me because I really love questions. Yes, go for it.
You never mentioned alcohol, so I'm curious about that.
Ooh, touchy subject. I do mention it with the guys, and especially so when I went over the guy who came back over the weekend heavy, that's definitely something in the back of my mind. I'm not going to confront him and say, well, how much did you drink this weekend? Because, I mean, you're all in nutrition counseling. You know how to counsel a person. But it is something. So we educate them on how alcohol metabolism works, or shall I say the lack of metabolism. So you eat alcohol, it's going to affect your food choices. Usually no one wants to go out and eat a salad when they're drunk, unless somebody's random in here. So I'm going to assume that they're eating garbage when they drink. And I'm going to explain to them how it's going to decline their performance. They're not going to think well mentally. They're absolutely wrecking their sleep at night. And like I said, we have a 6:30 lift this morning, on Monday mornings too. So I want to ask them, do you really want to put your body through that and then wake up at 6 a.m. and have a lift that's not going to be beneficial to your body at all? Because if you drank on Sunday, your body is still metabolizing the alcohol and the fat you did metabolize that you ate. So it's best to, it's one of my trickiest conversations with the players, but I do educate them on how it's negatively affecting them because there is no positive impact ever at all. But I usually let it come out of their mouth first, if that makes sense. So I'll ask, okay, what'd you eat Saturday night? And if they say, I don't know, they ate chicken and pasta, I'll say, did you cook it? Did you go eat? And then they'll say, oh, me and my buddies went here. And then okay, you and your buddies were out. And then it triggers that conversation of, what else did you have with that meal? And you can say, were you drinking water? Like, what are you drinking with your meals? And then it'll usually come up. That was a long answer. I'm sorry. But yeah, you just got to find little tricky ways to expose them. Okay, what else? Yeah.
Did you know you were always going to do football, or did you want to do a different sport?
Oh, I hate football. I don't. I never wanted to do football. I played softball, so I love women's sports. It's my favorite thing. Sometimes I'm too honest, but yeah, football is like not my favorite sport. I love working around football. It's so fun being at in a game at the stadium. It's the best time ever. But I think as a dietitian, I would be challenged more with women athletes, because women athletes, I'm just going to be so honest, women athletes don't need a picture of what their plate's supposed to look like. They can have a handout and say, okay, I want anti-inflammatory foods. This time I'm going to drink a cherry juice. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to stop using ranch. I'm going to do a vinaigrette instead. If you tell a football player to use vinaigrette instead of ranch, he's just not going to even know what vinaigrette is half the time. And he's not going to take you seriously. He's going to say, so can I eat the cheeseburger or what? That's how it's going to go. So I feel like for me personally, I'm going to get to a point as a sports dietitian where I feel like I want to transition to women's sports, and take it to a higher level. Now, I do have a dream of going back to the NFL. I was an intern with the Buccaneers at one point, and I loved it because there were guys I had a player come up to me and ask if they should be taking ashwagandha. Never in my life will I have a college player come even mutter that word to me. So it was fun. I got challenged, and I don't think I knew what ashwagandha did. That was 4 years ago. So it challenged me. I got to research it. Oh my gosh, should I be on ashwagandha? I have no idea what it is. So what was your question?
Did you want to do
Did I always want to do football? So obviously the answer is no, but I've only done football. So it's just something I got into. As soon as I graduated, I got the internship with the Buccaneers. I was football. I went to Kentucky for 2 months as part of my grad program. That was football. I got the football fellowship at Ole Miss, and now, lo and behold, I'm working football here. So
When the Buccaneers called me, I was like, what?
did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, okay. And I was just like, why? Like, she doesn't want to do football.
Oh my God, did you tell them that?
And I was like, she's leaving.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. What's up? That is such a tricky question. Okay. So caffeine supplementation is banned by the NCAA. It's impermissible. I cannot give caffeine supplementation to an athlete. Can I give them coffee? Yes. Does it make sense? No. So we have a cold brew on tap in our facility. They can have coffee anytime they want to. But I accidentally ordered caffeine enhanced protein drinks one day. And that was a no-no. Now, is someone going to find out I'm giving them a caffeine drink? Probably not, unless someone with the NCAA has come and snoop in our fridges and know that. The thing is, if you have at least, you pop positive on a drug test with 500 milligrams caffeine. So I try to keep my athletes in check with that. Now, this is a great question. Now I'm getting into, if you take a drug test, can it show like a different caffeine source? There's no way. Yeah. But I'm saying there's one form of caffeine. That is a great question. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay. I want to look into that. But yeah, we're not allowed to provide caffeine supplementation, to answer your question.
They can drink all the Cokes they want.
Right.
When they're not around you.
Yeah, they do. But it's on them to know if you have this much caffeine in your system and you're about to take a drug test, you might get in trouble. So yeah. Okay, what else?
How often do you drug test?
I think it probably happens like 4 times a year. No, because we would lose a lot of players if we did that. If you catch my drift.
Is it like a hair test or is it like urine?
No, it's urine. They pee in a cup. And we do our best to surprise them too. It'll happen at 6 a.m. and we call them in and say, it's happening. And some guys, it's scary. Yeah, it's not too often. Yes.
Okay, this is honestly, what happens if like they take the drug test and they have drugs in them? Like, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they're going to be suspended. It depends what it is. And I'm going to be so transparent right now. It depends who it is. Unfortunately. I'm serious. It really does. For example, like I'm not going to say names, but if you think our QB1 from last year, you know the one I'm talking about, that's in the league right now, if he would have popped positive on a drug test, would we have made him sit out for a game? Probably not. So unfortunately, football is football, and I can talk all day about this, but like NIL and everything, some things are ruined. But yeah, by rules, you're supposed to be banned from your team if it's something really bad. If it's something like, I don't even know what a bad or a not so bad drug is, but basically you're suspended from the team, or it could be indefinitely, whatever it may be. Yes.
So when you do the test, are you a part of that? And like, if they pop up positive for a lot of caffeine, like you're the one that deals with that, and the drugs, like the coaches deal with that.
I am not a part of it at all, of the drug test. I've never been in a circumstance where they pop for caffeine. I think that is a reason we do it at 6 a.m. And I'm sure a lot of teams find that loophole. They do it at 6 a.m. to make sure stuff maybe is out of their system overnight. But no, I haven't had to deal with any caffeine overdose, if you will. It's just our sports medicine team, a part of that. And then head coach is notified if something pops positive. Anything else? Yes.
Do you know if like any of them like vape or smoke cigarettes and stuff?
They do. And some of that, you're going to develop some trusting relationships with athletes sometimes. So I have 2 athletes right now who they stopped smoking weed. And so it's affecting their weight right now. But they don't want to smoke it anymore, and so they're coming to me. They're wanting to know, how can I keep weight on? Or maybe their hunger cues have changed. So if sometimes it just depends on the body and the metabolism. Some guys, they're like, I am not hungry anymore, or they're like, I feel like I can just eat all the time. So it's just putting them on a schedule. Say, okay, we're going to stick to this. We're going to do this because they made this life change that they want to stick to. So I'm going to help them do that. But yeah, there are some things you'll figure out in the background of just like their drinking and everything like that. Yeah.
How do you deal with, since you're in the position of telling them how things are going to help them, when somebody's consistently not doing that? How do you deal with that, just being in charge of everything?
I take it into my own hands as much as I can. And knowing that I'm a young girl and I have older men in the building who they're more scared of than me, I take it to them. So I tell our scary strength coach that, hey, he told me he's not taking his supplements today. And that strength coach will say, give me 5 minutes, and he'll go talk to him. And you just figure out who they're scared of. I'm going to be honest. And I have figured that out. I have guys come to me and say, hey, I didn't take my supplements today. Can you please not tell Coach Davis? Like, I swear, like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Should I tell him? But, yeah, you play to your strengths, and then you play to other people's strengths when you need to. It's good life advice. Go ahead.
What are you doing like during the game? Like, are you just like watching, or are you like?
Oh my gosh, never. I'm working. No, I am. No, games are fun because I do get to like hang out a lot. I can't see the game because I'm down here most of the time and the players are in front of me. But I was in charge of the offense. So specifically the offensive line, but I had the entire offense. So when they're on the field, I'm standing right where that first down marker is. Sometimes I'm behind Coach Kelly. I'm standing with the running backs because the running backs come in and out of the game. Every time a running back comes out, I'm hydrating them. Our offensive line, no one rotates out. They stay in. So when a wide receiver switches out, I hydrate them, make sure they're ready to go back in. And then when our defense is out, I'm on the bench with the O-line, hydrating everybody, seeing if I need to give them electrolytes, a snack, what's going on, and then I go back. We rotate like that. So that's what happens during the game. But yeah, I get to enjoy it sometimes. And then I go in early for halftime. So halftime, they come in the locker room. We have snacks. We make sure everyone has a bottle of hydration in their hand, whether it's water, Powerade, whatever. If someone needs electrolytes, that is the only time I feed them Uncrustables. They love those things, to make sure I just get energy and carbs in their body. So they'll eat an Uncrustable. They're not allowed to have them in the facility per me because there's just no nutritional value in those things. And I don't believe in them. And then we'll set up post-game meal, and that's what happens around the game. Yeah. What else? Yes.
Not to stress you out, but what's going to be the difference between your current position and the one you're kind of interim and interviewing for?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. And I'm already stressed, so you can't stress me out anymore. The difference is I will be able to make the changes I want to make. So in my presentation that I have set up this week, I have new ways of doing education. So like I mentioned, I have an education wall. I went on Amazon, ordered little, I don't know what, like the paper holders, you command hook on there. I did that on Monday. I hit the ground running. I said, we're going to do this. I started doing position group meals. So every position group has to eat in our dining hall with their position coach Monday through Thursday, and I'm going to sit and consult with them because last year we did not do a lot of one-on-one consulting with these guys. So this week the quarterbacks are hanging out with me. Monday through Thursday we're eating breakfast together. I've changed the supplementations. I want to change how we cater food. So last year, I'll tell you one instance that kind of just broke my heart. We catered wings and fried egg rolls. That's what was in every box after I think we had a team meeting that day. And that's what every box was that we catered. And I have an offensive lineman who is about 20 pounds overweight right now. And he's doing so well. And he texts me a picture of every meal he's doing right now. He's really trying. He's cooking at home. I love this kid. And he sees the wings and egg rolls and he asked me, he said, Miss Morgan, should I eat this? What should I do? And I said, like the way he's been eating, it would make sense with everything he's been working hard for. Even though it's one meal, I understand that, but I want to keep him on track and I don't want him to be tempted by anything. And so I said, not really. So I had to send him to the dining hall and he ate in the dining hall and he didn't get to have the free meal that the rest of his teammates got. So I want to have more attention to detail on that. When I was here in undergrad, I had an incredible boss. Her name was Lauren. And every single meal, she would have a lean, maintain, and gain option. Because ultimately, every player, you're doing one of those three things. You're either staying where you are, you got to gain, or you lean. There's no other option. So she would have 3 separate options, or maybe not necessarily 3 different meals, but 2 meals that could fit in other places. So one of my slides on my presentation is an example of a walk-on's catered meal. So my lean meal is the Tuscan chicken and the green beans and mashed potatoes, I think. And then the maintain meal is the club wrap. And then my gain meal is the shrimp pasta. So everyone can love walk-ons and enjoy it and sit down and eat with their teammates. But if you need to lean out and your teammate needs to gain, I make you both happy. And you can still adhere to your goals and enjoy a meal with your team and have a free meal too. You don't have to go out and get anything else. So that's one of the changes I want to make. It's really just getting back to the fundamentals of nutrition and doing the education with the guys, catering better, me being around and knowing the players better, basically. Any other questions?
Are you comfortable telling them why you're using the phrase "I want to change"?
What do you mean?
Like, who's not there anymore, or not can change things?
So I mean, I won't bash anything.
No, but like it's kind of important.
No, for sure. So my boss for the past year, he stepped away, took another job, and the way he operated, he had his PhD, he was very into research, all those things. And so that was kind of the way he operated. That was his obsession. He wanted to bring in these graduate assistants that did a study on concussions and linked it to the NFL. And he wanted to bring in this woman who did skin folds and did muscle to bone ratios. And we never used that information ever. And he wanted to have his hands in a lot of things and make nutrition look fancy when college football really isn't that fancy. In result of all that, I can think of a player right now that probably couldn't tell me what a carb is. If I pointed on a plate and asked which one's your carb, he wouldn't know. So I want to be able to change the program in that way. And that is I think when I was first presented with maybe having the director role, I had a hesitancy because I expressed that this program is not going to look super fancy. It may look like a downgrade of things in your eyes, but I promise our performance and results will be better because I'm going to go back to the fundamentals of nutrition and I'm going to teach them what a freaking carb is. And I'm going to cater meals that aren't going to raise their triglycerides through the roof. So yeah, I think this isn't an easy task by any means, for anyone to take over a program. But I love this place so much. And this is the first place I became a sports dietitian, and it built my foundation as a sports dietitian. This is like my therapy session right now. If I don't get this job, it will break my heart, because I love this program so much, and I want to be able to. It's just going to be a cool story. I was the girl making smoothies behind the counter, and then I got to be an assistant, and now hopefully I'll get to be at the top, and just leave a piece of me with this program. And y'all are gonna make me cry. But yeah, I love this thing. So I've been putting together a presentation. I'm trying to give it my all and really just push the vision. And like I said, I'm hoping I get respected, because everyone in this room knows that being a woman in a male field is not easy. The 3 performance directors will be me, a guy in his 40s running sports medicine, and another guy in his 40s over strength staff, and me. But I know what I can bring to the table, and that's where I would encourage all of you to just, you're so capable. And even this morning, I was sitting in a room with the entire strength staff and our head of sports medicine for an injury talk, and twice someone came in and said, "Morning, gentlemen. Hey, dudes, what's up?" And I'm sitting in the room, and I'm not a part of that. So you have to not let your feelings get hurt over that stuff, and just know what you bring to the table. You are so capable. You have prepared for, I did 6.5 years of school. So I've got something to stand on. Next month, I'm taking my CSSD. So that's another reason I'm a little stressed right now, because I've been studying for that. But yeah, again, I forgot what I was asked just now, but I just went, oh, the things I wanted to change. But yeah, so those are all the things I wanted to change. And why I want to change it, because let me tell you, it would be so easy for me to just say, peace out, find somebody else. I'm going work for someone. Like, I'm going to get another assistant job, and they can run it and tell me what to do. But
what a lot of people do, and that's what happens in a lot of schools. That's why when you got here, I was like, poor things, because I didn't know if you were staying or not.
yeah, yeah, it would be so easy if I just said, okay, good luck, everyone. I'm going to put in my 2 weeks and go. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of jobs are about to be open right now. In the spring, sports jobs are full, because everyone just finished football season and people are looking. But yeah, I love this place, and I want to leave it better than I found it. And I feel like right now, it wouldn't be leaving it better than I found it. So, anything else to make me cry or laugh or whatever? No? Does anyone want to do sports now that I talked about it, or no? We cut that out. Oh, okay. Come on.
How many hours a week are you working?
Oh, wow. This morning I woke up at 4:30. And I will do that again tomorrow.
More than the
For sure.
average. Yeah.
Oh, 70. Yeah. I mean, I'm working 12-hour days. Like that's my 9 to 5, a 12-hour for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I have to live close. So yeah, my family. Oh my gosh, I'm an open book. I'll say I live at the Everly by the Sprouts. You know everything about me. I love that place. I'll just live there. But my family lives in Gonzales. It's like 30 minutes away, if you know where that is. So when I first got this job, my apartment wasn't ready yet, and I was living in Gonzales, and I only did that for 2 weeks, and it was miserable. Because you have these insanely long days. You don't want to be done with your day and then go, okay, 30-minute drive home. But yeah, it takes me about 7 minutes to get to work, and I am blessed by that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Is there more than one day, like, for the team, or just
Right now it's 2 of us. So our staff is a director, assistant, a fellow, which is kind of in our sports world. You'll have intern, and then you have fellow. So I was at the Bucks as an intern first, and then I got my fellow. You do a full year with someone. So it's kind of like a weird in between step. So we have director, assistant, fellow, and then we have probably 15, 16 student volunteers that help us keep everything running. And then we also get DIs in. So if anyone wants to do a rotation with me, oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. Hopefully I'm here and you can come do a rotation with me. But sometimes we have DIs come in and I'll show them the ropes and get them going. It depends. Sometimes they're with us. I did my sports rotation for 2 months straight, but sometimes I get people in for 2 days. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm confused, but what are y'all are doing now? Yeah, I'm like, I don't have enough time to but yeah, that's our staff right now. And right now it's me and the fellow. So I'm thriving. What else? I could stay here forever. What's going on? Nothing. I reached my end. Awesome. Y'all are the best. This was so fun. Oh my gosh. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to email out the slides because y'all had so many good questions today. Thank you so much, Morgan, for speaking. So yeah, stay tuned for the email for the updates. There's not many, but if y'all want to see volunteer opportunities or whatever. So yeah, y'all have a good week.